that? Well, here's the problem that we're trying to solve. It's that there are a lot of data sets that have a lot of value, but the access to them is restricted to the fact that the data is sensitive and private. There are existing anonymization techniques to deal with that fact, but these anonymization techniques do not scale to big data, and especially high-dimensional data. So our approach is to use synthetic data for data anonymization, and in particular generative AI to create really realistic synthetic data. So let's talk a little bit more about the problem. So here you can imagine with the amount of data growing, you see this dotted line, that's like the actual amount of information in the data, and then you see what amount of information you can capture if you apply classical anonymization. There's this really bad curve, it just flattens out if the data gets more high dimensional, and here's a small example with classic anonymization applied to images. So here, those images are somehow useless, but you can still tell that that's Obama and Hillary Clinton. So what's our solution? It's AI-generated synthetic data. Here are some images. On those portraits are not real portraits. They are portraits made up by an AI, trained on celebrity faces. And this is where we got the idea. So, short story of synthetic data, or the evolution of synthetic data. You can start off with handcrafted synthetic data that's very simplistic and biased. Then you have hand-engineered data, still somewhat simplistic and biased. But with this AI-generated data, you really get realistic and representative data. This in turn means that we get a much better curve with respect to the information that we can retain. And this is why we believe this is like the only right way to anonymize high-dimensional data. So here you see the process, or what is used for. You have customer data that you would like to use, that you would like to share with third parties, that you would like to share with your own developers, whoever, but you can't because it's restricted, because it's very sensitive and private. So we provide the synthetic data engine. You synthesize your data, you get a set of synthetic customer data that you can then use for test and development, marketing optimization, open innovation, data sharing, and any other use cases you might think of. So we had our first customer in the finance industry. We developed a synthetic data engine for them. And it covered a few business needs for them, so they can test with realistic data, do UX optimization, development of smart features, and they also started sharing data with a university that they couldn't have done previously. So that's transaction data of users, so it's really sensitive data, and they couldn't share the real data. Well, yes, here's a short overview of the solution. We use deep generative models to do that, to get this really highly realistic data, and did that very well. So we got a really good feedback from them, and yeah, so that's the story. And the last slide, that's the team, and yeah, I'll take some questions.